What is up, guys? Jack or Codified Gaming here, back with another video. And in today's video, we're going to talk about my F1 2019 season predictions. And it's a bit early to do it, as this is only going in this weekend is round 4 of the 2018 year. I'm predicting the 2019 year, but the reason why I'm doing this is so no drivers can sign their contracts. Obviously Vettel, Hamilton and Verstappen have all signed contracts for the next 3 years, but no other driver have signed contracts. And something that's really interesting to talk about is that Bottas, Ricciardo and Raikkonen's contract runs out at the end of this year. So we're going to get straight away to the top 3 teams. We're going to start with obviously the reigning champions, the dominators of this era of Formula 1, Mercedes. Now let's talk about Mercedes. They last year probably had they weren't as dominant as they've been. Ferrari for a fight. To be fair to Ferrari, they did really well to be in the title fight till like the third to last race. They did really well. Think about how the 2016 and 2014 year went. It went really well. But let's talk about their 2015 year. It was generally alright. Vettel won the most races. Sebastian Vettel, I think he's going to stay with Ferrari. Raikkonen, he's a solid number 2 driver. Hungry last year, Vettel with the steering problems. He didn't dare close up or overtake him, and he did really well. I'd be tempted to do it. I probably would have done it. So Raikkonen did really well to not do it, probably for the best. But think about 2012 Abu Dhabi. Leave me alone, I know what I'm doing. I think that's what he thought. Leave me alone, I know not to overtake Seb. That's probably what he was thinking. But he's getting old. He's 39 this year. I think he's going to retire at the end of this year. Who fills up his spot? Now let's look at some people that could. Grosjean in Haas, Daniel Ricciardo in Red Bull, Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc. Sergio Perez, I don't think they're ready for the seat. Daniel Ricciardo, he probably is about ready. He's won 6 races. None of them races have been boring. Is it just a coincidence, or does he make them not boring races? 2017 Azerbaijan, it all kicked off on lap 19. China, the last race he won. China 2018, he did really well. He went on an overtaking streak. He made that race not a boring race. It didn't have the pure excitement that Bahrain had, but you never knew if Ricciardo was going to go for an overtake. Especially that move on Hamilton, that was just rocket. He did an absolute dive bomb and a half. That was such a good of an overtake. I was sitting on the edge of my sofa, like, come on, make it, do it for the F1. He well and truly made it. That was unbelievable how he did that overtake. So I think he's going to go to Ferrari, Vettel, Ricciardo, Mercedes, Hamilton and Bottas. Now the team that's starting to fall in to Haas's hands. Aston Martin, Red Bull Racing. This is an interesting one because they have got rid of Ricciardo. Ricciardo's gone to Ferrari. Max Verstappen has already signed a contract for the next 3 years with them. So Verstappen's in. Who replaces Ricciardo? I don't think it's going to be one of the current Red Bull drivers. I think it might be a former Toro Rosso drivers, one of the former Toro Rosso drivers, that he didn't get a contract at Red Bull. I think the reason why he didn't get the contract at Red Bull is because they already had 2 good drivers. Carlos Sainz. He said he might not sign with Red Bull ever because of what they did to him, but I think he will. Now, next one I have on my list is Haas. And Haas, we talked about already one of their drivers, Romain Grosjean. I think he had the chance to go to Ferrari, but he's not ready. So I think he will stay at Haas in the Ferrari, technically their B team. And I came up with a thing. Ferrari the A team, Haas the B team, Sauber are the C team. Then they are all the cars that use Ferrari engines. Some people say that Toro Rosso by the end of this year will technically be the Ferrari B team, not the Red Bull B team. But anyway, that's not what I'm trying to talk about. Toro Rosso might move to that. So we're going to talk about Toro Rosso. Pierre Gasly scored an amazing 4th, amazing 12 points for the team. But sometimes that doesn't win you your contract. Sometimes it might win you good points and a good position, a good reputation, but sometimes it doesn't win you that contract. Gasly, he did really well. I think he's gonna stay. I said it might not win you the contract, but he did Toro Rosso is powered by a Honda engine.
He's clearly got a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars. He's matured a lot over the past few seasons, which served him well today.
That's it for today's Grand Prix.
He's got 4th in a McLaren, a Toro Rosso Honda. Yeah, I think he's gonna stay. Brendan Hartley, I think he's gonna stay. I think Toro Rosso don't really have any options. They're a solid midfielder, but they also could be counted as a backmarker. If you are a hater of Toro Rosso, then yeah, you might count them as a backmarker. If you are not a lover, but you wouldn't mind if they were the only team in F1. So you would probably count them as a back of the midfield. They're not midfielder, they're not back marker, they are the back of the midfield. They are the borderline between midfield and the back marker. And does Brendan Hartley want to be in a team like that? He was kicked out of the Red Bull Junior program in 2013 and then brought back in again to race in F1. The 2017 USA Grand Prix, it's the first time he drove an open seater in 5 years, and he finished. Absolutely amazing job. So I think he's going to stay. Not because of that race, just because he was kicked out of the Red Bull Junior program. I think Red Bull have a sorry to say, because he's a solid driver. I wouldn't mind if I had to sign him. I think he will, but it's a car he's got. Many drivers are very good, very, very talented, but they have never ever had the car to show it. Jules Bianchi, Pascal Wehrlein. I generally think Rio Haryanto. It might sound like I support Haryanto. I don't. I generally think he had potential. Only to score 10th or 9th, that's still in the top 10. If Wehrlein can do it, why can't he? You know, if you look up to someone, they can do it, why can't I? It's like, Wehrlein can do it, why can't he? Bianchi can do it, why can't he? I have to think of these things. If Bianchi can, if people can do it, why can't he do it? Is it because he's the first ever Indonesian in F1? If he is, then that shouldn't be a thing against him. What should be against him if he's a bad driver? So there's many drivers who have had the potential, but they just haven't done it. I think that's what Brendan Hartley is. Anyway, back to Haas, Magnussen and Grosjean. They are locked in to Russell, Gasly and Hartley. Next up is Renault, and Renault, they've given Carlos Sainz away to Red Bull. Yeah, they've given Sainz away to Red Bull. So who do they replace him with? I think they're definitely going to keep Hulkenberg. He's got some really decent amount. He might get his first podium this year, but he might get his first podium this year. Woohoo! Because he's a good driver. Once again, he has potential. He doesn't have the car. He's in Renault. Renault don't have an A team, so teams cannot say, "Oh yeah, let's go grab him because he's in the B team." Because Red Bull, if they lose a driver, they can easily look into their B team. Right, they can look into Haas. They can look into Sauber. Sauber used to be able to look into Toyota. In 2009, they looked into Toyota. Every team once have had a B team. Renault don't have an A team, don't have a B team. So they are in a tricky situation that Hulkenberg, he has everywhere to go. But who will replace him? Definitely not Julian Palmer. He was a really, really bad driver. Hulkenberg and Magnussen, they scored decent amount of positions. He didn't do it. He might have joined F1 when Renault was really dropping off, but that's just his luck. It took him 27 races with Renault to get into Q3, Sainz first try. Ocon though, he used to be, in 2016, he was a Renault test driver. I wouldn't be surprised if Renault want to bring him back. He obviously went to Manor because of Arianto. And I don't forget why he went to Renault when he went to Manor. If I was him, I would have signed, what's his name? Will Stevens. He spent an entire year with us. He spent an entire year with Manor in 2015. Yeah, so, anyway, Nico Hulkenberg is signed up for Renault, second driver. Ocon used to be the test driver for Renault, but also, I just want to point out to this, Jack Aitken. I know it's another Jack, anyway. Jack Aitken, he is Renault test driver, but so is Artem Markelov. Jack Aitken, he's quite a good driver. Otherwise he wouldn't be the test driver. If he was a bad driver, then why would he be the test driver? Why would he be an F2? But Lando Norris started off in sim racing. Then ART Grand Prix got interested in him, and now he's actually the Renault development driver because he is with the team, the only team that uses Renault engines. He's the only. Yeah, he's the only team that uses Renault engines. I wouldn't be so surprised if one day he goes to Renault or something. But who's going to replace it? I think it's going to be Esteban Ocon, which then leads us into Force India, because Esteban Ocon used to start for Force India. Don't think he wants to be Team Perez anymore, especially after his 2017 year. Crash, crash, crash. Yeah. Force India. Sergio Perez, who's been with the team since 2014, before he was with McLaren. He's been with the team since 2014, and they could sign a test driver, Alfonso Celis. I don't know how he said his name. I think it's one of them two. I think it's Alfonso Celis Jr. They could sign him. I wouldn't be surprised if they sign him, because he's a good driver. He is a solid driver. I can't say he's a bad driver. I cannot say he's a bad driver, but he really has to show a bit more. He has to shine in the tests. That's why I'm going to go for Mercedes Young Driver Program, George Russell. Now, Williams and Force India are technically the Mercedes B and C team. Yeah. So I think it's going to be Ocon and Hulkenberg at Renault and Perez and Russell at Force India. Right, next up is Sauber. Sauber, the Ferrari C team. They could easily just sign Antonio Giovinazzi, but he crashed a lot. When he drove for Sauber, he crashed a lot. And to be an F1 driver, that's not what you do. You don't crash a lot. You have to be a good driver a lot. Then focus and try improving on that. Especially in the wet. That was in the wet. I understand why he did it. It was in the wet. He is a rookie. He was a rookie, crashed in the wet. I definitely understand that. But some rookies, they come into F1, they race in their first wet race, they are unstoppable. That is not Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi is that type of rookie where he's in F1, he's like, oh, I'm in Formula 1, I'm a rookie, it'll be fine for me to crash. Some rookies think, okay, I'm a rookie in F1, I need to focus on the rest of my career and try get a good result this year. That's what some rookies focus on. But other rookies like Giovinazzi think, it's fine for me to crash because I'm a rookie, I have an excuse, I'm a rookie. I don't think that's what Giovinazzi obviously had in mind. If he did, he would probably be a bit of an idiot. But some rookies do have that in mind. Yeah, Esteban Ocon, he went on so long without retiring, so did Max Chilton. But initially, they're both good drivers. And, yeah, so what I want to really think about is Giovinazzi. They probably want to sign him because of what he did in China last year with that team. But then you come across some other drivers that you're just like, they will be in the future. There's one driver that I've already mentioned in this video, Charles Leclerc. He's definitely going to be in Sauber. He has a lot of potential. I think he definitely can race in F1. I think if you put him in Ferrari, he'll definitely win, not his first race, but the races like after that, maybe his third, maybe his last race in that year. He might take him on that long, but he is a rookie this year, and he's been partnered up with the only driver that was a full-time driver last year not to score points, Marcus Ericsson. So you have two drivers that have not scored points in a long time. Charles Leclerc never scored any points in F1. Marcus Ericsson in Bahrain this year, 2018, ended that streak of races of not scoring points. He ended that streak. Well done to him. Just want to point that out. Huge shout out. Well done him for getting them points that he really needed in his career to end 50 races long of not scoring any points. Well done. So I think he's going to stay. Charles Leclerc, Marcus Ericsson, Sauber 2019. Now we get on to, we've already mentioned to also, McLaren. Then switch from Honda to Renault. Well done, guys. You made the right decision. It looks like because Alonso beat a Red Bull, he beat Verstappen. He was absolutely amazing. That was amazing from him. He beat Max Verstappen. Obviously, Verstappen let him through under the safety car. If the steward was so mean, they probably would have given him a penalty for overtaking under the safety car. But Verstappen then did overtake Alonso on the safety car on the pit exit. Anyway, I think their driver's license say Alonso and Van Dorn. Alonso, double world champion. Van Dorn, just, I think they're going to keep him. Oh, now we get to Williams. Poor Williams. They're obviously going to keep Lance Stroll. But coming to the race, we saw his first podium, Azerbaijan. Yeah, it's good. He did an absolutely amazing job to get a podium. Sergei Sirotkin. He's probably the worst driver on the grid in 2018. That's only after the first 2 races though. If he scores like tons of points in the next races, then sorry for saying that. But after the first 2 races, I think he's the worst driver on the grid. I know I mentioned sometimes good drivers don't have the car that they want, that they need to show their potential. I don't think that's with Sergei. I think Sergei is generally a bad driver no matter what car you put in. So yeah, that is just how some drivers are. Teams were interested in them, but they made the wrong choice. Renault made a gamble to sign Palmer. That's just how some teams go with it. They do the wrong choice. They sign the driver that probably is the least right to be in that car. But that is just how some people, some teams, they don't think about it properly, and they're just like, this guy, we think he has a lot of potential, let's sign him. You also need to look back into his first, racing career. What sport did he do? What position did he finish in? How many races? You need to think about that. And then you think, was he good that year, or was he absolutely terrible? I haven't researched his first year in motorsport. I'm sure he did pretty well or pretty bad. I don't think he did alright or something. I think he's either good, pretty good, or pretty bad. If it's anything, I think it's going to be pretty good, if anything. So I think he will sign, even though I wouldn't sign him. I think Stroll and Sirotkin will be at Williams. That's it for my 2019 season prediction. If you can put down in the comments what your predictions are, I can relate it to mine and see, and then comment down below why you chose it, because I would really like to know. Yeah, so that is that, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like, subscribe. Also subscribe to HarryTube, Red Panda Gaming, Happy Seal 10, and actually currently GB Noisebox as another YouTube channel. Go subscribe to all of them, and I'll see you in the next vid. Bye! Hang on.